That's good enough. All right. Can we sit here? Can you turn it? Wait, supposedly I'm. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I can't mute myself.
Good morning. So good morning, everybody. It's time for our meditation. My name is Grace McManus, and I'm one of the practitioners at CSL Prescott. So this will be a kind of silent meditation. I'll guide you through it, and there'll be some pauses. And just sit back right now, relax, and enjoy your time here. So wherever I am, there too is God. God, Spirit, Universe, Yahweh, Allah, the All, the One, Life. Whatever name or title, it is infinite intelligence creating life. It creates the moon, the stars, it creates grass and sand, trees, and the oceans. It creates all of the animal life. It creates mountains, valleys, streams, hills, volcanoes, rivers. It creates the heat and the old and the cold. It creates our seasons. It creates all of life on this planet, and maybe others, which includes all species of plants, animals, sea life, and of course, humanity. So let's meditate on that idea of that great intelligence, that great spirit. Just think about that for a moment. And my life is the life of God, expressing and evolving through all the circumstances of my human experience. Every attribute and quality of God is in me, for I am made from it. I remember now that my true essential nature is the nature of God. When I am resisting change, Spirit gently says, but that is what I do. When I feel excluded and judged, I hear Spirit singing in my ear, "You are my beloved." When I'm exhausted and ready to give up, Spirit instructs me to follow where it leads. When I start believing no one understands, Spirit provides an angel who sees deep in my heart. When I reach the edge of my understanding, Spirit is simply trying to remind me that there is more to know. When I find myself triggered by the actions of others, Spirit laughs and asks, "How are you triggering them?" When I find myself feeling helpless to change a worldly condition, Spirit is whispering, "I only need to change myself." Let's pause on that idea of just changing ourselves. When my old stories keep invading new circumstances, Spirit reminds me that new wine can be ruined by old wineskins. When I am convinced that I am right, Spirit comes into my dreams and shows me the multitudes in the beloved community. When I am tempted to walk away, Spirit asks, "What have I called you here to do?" And who have I called you to be now? When I am acting like it is I, not the Father, who doeth the work, Spirit nudges me and reminds me to reverse the equation. When I find myself running in full force into the wall of frustration, Spirit suggests I stop and sit on the bench of peace it has provided nearby. So just take a moment to sit on that bench, and remember who you are. I am not here by accident. I am right here in this moment, in this life, in this predicament, and in this world for a reason. So I sit in the presence of the divine and welcome it into my every thought, decision, and action. I choose to hear God's wisdom as I make choices. I bring Spirit's love into every relationship I have. I commit to commune with my higher self daily and allow meditation, treatment, and journaling to remind me to identify with the spiritual truth of my being. My human self is a vehicle through which my divine self expresses. Wherever I am, there too is God. So sit with that idea for a moment, that we are all in the presence of the divine. I am grateful for this reminder today. I am grateful to know the truth every day and for all eternity. I am grateful that my life is the life of God expressing, expanding, and evolving through all the circumstances of this human experience. I am grateful the guidance of Spirit is always present and available. I surrender my life and all into the universal law. I am always working for my good and the good of all life. Now I want you to take a few minutes to try to recollect anything you might have heard from this meditation, and give yourself a moment to digest these thoughts as we go into the silence for a minute or two. So now I'm going to ask you to bring your consciousness back into this room. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes as we conclude this meditation. I thank all of you for being here today and wish you a very good day. And I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Good morning. My name is Kira Molitor, and I'm part of the leadership here at CSL Prescott. Welcome to all of you in the sanctuary and to all of you online. A few brief announcements. We still have openings for the flowers and for candlelighters and greeters. These spots fill up quickly. The sign-ups are out at the front desk. And we are also looking for volunteers to help with the offerings count. That is also a sign-up outside. Thank you. And now an announcement from Hazel Bowman.
Thank you, Kira. And good morning. 3 weeks from today, Reverend Kathleen will be giving her final message from this pulpit before she relocates back east to Pennsylvania. Now, of her general 20 to 25 minute message, we, the practitioners, are hijacking about 10 to 15 minutes of that message as we honor and we give tribute to this unbelievable woman who has given more than 20% of her life to this center here in Prescott. Now, the thing is, Reverend Kathleen knows our intent, but she doesn't know our content. And we want to keep it that way. So I'm not going to share a whole lot more about it with you, other than the practitioner corps with the Board of Trustees warmly invite you to join us on Sunday, October 3rd, for service as we honor this unbelievable minister we've enjoyed for so many years, to be followed by a wonderful informal reception in Sibley Hall immediately following service. And for those of you online, I encourage you, if you're unable to be here, please log on and see the October 3rd service. You'll have an opportunity to post your comments in the chat room, where we'll be able to capture them and include them in the book for Reverend Kathleen. And by the way, for anyone who wants to sign that book with your good wishes, it's out there in the entryway in the foyer for you to sign. Thank you.
Well, good morning again. And this is a time for us to invoke the presence of God. So I ask you to relax and just let us open this service. Can you hear me, by the way? Oh, okay. And so I take a moment to recognize the divine, the first step in treatment. Recognize, remember, re-know the divine, and that I am one with that presence, and so is everyone that we come in contact with. And I'm truly grateful for this time together, for all of the people participating, for our guest speakers, Melissa and Z, and for all the events and activities that will be occurring here at the center. And I welcome anyone new who has not experienced our service before. And I say this as I release it into the divine law, and so it is.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, we're going to open with a congregational that you don't know yet, but you're about to.
Can you go back? I hadn't turned the mic on. I am a professional. Okay.
There we go.
So here's how it goes. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love with you now. I am let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this. You're so good. Gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. After me, Spirit loves me. Spirit loves me. I know that. I know that. Spirit loves me. Spirit loves me. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. I'm gonna let
Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. Yeah. When I'm down, I turn to you. When I'm down, you pull me through. Yeah. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. See?
All alone, feeling broken, I don't know where to go. Got a feeling if I'm willing, Spirit's opening the door. So I'm asking, passing time while I'm crashing in a last sad gasp of confusion, and it's slow. A little knowing that won't let go. Can't ignore it, and you know I won't, cause it's growing in the open. No more hoping now. Spirit holds my soul and says you gotta let me love you now. You are worthy of this love, so why not let me love you now? For you are worthy of this love. Yeah.
I surrender every little thing. I surrender. Hear me sing. I want to hear you sing. I want to let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this love. I'm gonna let Spirit love me now. I am worthy of this. I am worthy. I am worthy of this love. Yes. I am worthy of this love. Yes, I'm worthy of this love. Woo!
Well done.
Good morning. You sing. That's good.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Reverend Kathleen Sibley, and it's really weird to be standing over here today. Usually I'm over there. But we can all adjust, right? So, what I want you to know is that no matter what mood you woke up in this morning, no matter what judgments you've had, no matter what awesome things you know about yourself that you think no one else does, you're entirely welcome here this morning, just as you are and just as you are not. Because the Center for Spiritual Living Prescott exists to provide spiritual tools that transform our personal lives and make the world a better place. Now, no one can do this for you, but no one can do it alone either. Well, no one has to do it alone. You can try. We have a circle of licensed professional practitioners here who are more than happy to help you out with that process. And what they can do with you is pray. So if you are online, the names and contact information of all the practitioners are on the website. If you are here, look for somebody wearing the purple stole. That means that they are in service today. You can put in a prayer request either online or on the purple form in the back of the seat in front of you here physically, or you could meet one of our practitioners here at the front of the platform after service, or put in a request in the chat and try and grab a practitioner. And they will do what we call a 3-minute miracle. Now, a 3-minute miracle means you do not have an hour to tell your practitioner whose fault it is. What you have time to do is tell them what you want to experience. Tell them the good thing that you would like to be experiencing that right now it feels like is not present in your life. And that is what practitioners do. They also teach classes. Please note that Foundations is starting online very soon. And there's just so much more good stuff that they do that there's no time to list it all. Now, this is not the only great way to do spiritual practice. And so I'm going to invite our candle lighters up. The Center for Spiritual Living honors all faith traditions. As we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed to his prophets, peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heavens and the earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
And for Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For the Native American traditions and the indigenous traditions around the world, those who walk the Good Red Road, including the people of the sun, better known as the Yavapai.
And for the Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
For all of the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone or wisdom keeper.
And for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe and we can use it.
Thank you, ladies. Now, in the midst of all of this wonderful diversity, we don't have to lose who we are individually as a center. And so this is an affirmation we have been saying for probably a couple decades now. We are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
There is only one of us. In your eyes, it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes, it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. We'll sing it one more time. There is only one of us. In your eyes, it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. You are my reflection. You are my reflection. There is only one.
Reflect. So I see myself in you. That's what that means. I see myself in you. And the words namaste, which we say often here at the center, means the light in me sees and accepts and acknowledges the light in you. Let us take a moment now to again reflect, to see that truth that there is really only one of us. So we will take a moment of silence. There is only one of us. Thank you very much. Namaste.
I get to introduce the musical act today. So they gave me this to read, and I'm going to read it like a good little number one who follows the rules. I took the Enneagram class with them yesterday. Reverend Z. Egloff is a cartoonist, spoken word artist, and award-winning author of the spiritual humor blog Life in ZD, A Goofball's Guide to Enlightenment. Their wife, Reverend Dr. Melissa Phillippe, is a singer, songwriter, and teacher with 9 albums of where's my coffee? Original music in release. Melissa and Z are the founders of Oh My God Life, an online and traveling ministry. Their mission is to bring radical joy to the world. And this is what I know about them. I have shared with you that when the ministers get together and need inspirational music, this is who they call. They are not just musicians. They are incredible musicians that are changing the sound of science of mind, speaking their truth as ministers in spoken word as well, and teaching in an inimitable way. And so I strongly suggest, if you do nothing else today, 2 things. Enjoy them while we've got them. And the second thing is get on the mailing list. Thank you for singing for us today.
We are very happy to be here today. I don't think it is. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Reverend Kathleen. We are thrilled to be here with you all today. We're going to take a picture. Melissa and I are on week 2 of a 10-week tour around the country, and we're chronicling everything on social media. So you're about to, you're about to be famous. Okay, so I was telling Reverend Kathleen yesterday, we had a great Enneagram workshop, and I was telling Reverend Kathleen that she's kind of the prototype for how to be a minister who welcomes out-of-town ministers. It's just been so amazing. We felt so welcomed by all of you, actually, so I know it takes a village to run a CSL Prescott, so yeah. So we're going to get started with a song. We got you started with call and response. Now we're going to amp it up a notch. We're going to do call and response with moves. Are you ready? Whether you've had your coffee or not, we'll see. All right, so here we go. We're gonna, you don't have to stand. Would you like to stand? Are you a standing? Okay, you're a standing congregation. Just make sure you can see me, because, you know. And if you don't want to stand, you don't have to. Okay, so we're gonna clarify.
Clarify.
And then we're gonna magnify.
Magnify.
And then we're gonna occupy. I say occupy, and you say occupy your faith, not your face. Feel free to do that as well. Occupy your faith. And then we're going to glorify.
Glorify.
Testify.
Testify.
Fortify your faith. You got it. Perfect. Okay. And then Melissa.
Then there's a singing part that I'd love for you to sing with me, but to learn it you can echo. You go like this. Fortify. 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 Fortify your faith. Fortify your faith. Fortify. 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 Fortify your faith. Fortify your faith. You are so good.
All right, you got it. Okay. Let's do it.
Fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. Fortify, fortify, fortify your faith.
I like to move. Don't be alarmed. When I was a child, a little bitty baby child, I didn't believe in nothing. Faith was for suckers, I told myself. People who are weak, people who need help. But all around me, everyone would say, you gotta believe, you gotta pray. Believing in nothing ain't no way. Here's what you gotta do each and every day. You gotta clarify, magnify, occupy, Occupy your faith, and then you gotta glorify. Testify. Fortify. Fortify your faith.
Oh, you've got to fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. Oh, you've got to fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Time went on, and I grew up. I started to question. I said, what's up with my life, the world, the universe, and how things work? Why am I here? Tell me now, what's my worth? I started to notice synchronicities and a power beyond what I could see. Next thing I knew, I heard Spirit say, here's what you gotta do. Each and every day, you gotta clarify, magnify, occupy your faith, and then you gotta glorify, testify, fortify your faith.
Oh, you've got to fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. Yeah, you've got to fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. You can do it. Can do it. Make it strong. Make it stronger. Come on, pay attention. There's no need to wait. Fortify, 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 fortify your faith.
Now I know, now I see that faith is so much bigger than me. It starts in the heart and grows and grows. Where it stops, God only knows. So if you're down, if you're blue, remember the Spirit is bigger than you. Let it hold you, take you, shape you. And here is all you have to do. You gotta clarify, magnify, occupy your faith, and then you gotta glorify, testify, fortify your faith. Oh yeah, you gotta clarify, magnify, occupy your faith, and then you gotta glorify, testify, fortify your faith.
You got to fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. You got to fortify, fortify, fortify your faith. No, you got to believe.
Fortify your faith. Yeah. Thank you. I feel fortified by y'all now. That was great. You did good. Okay, fortify your faith. That's what we want to talk about today. How do you fortify your faith? Well, spiritual practice, right? Duh. That's why we're here. Melissa and I have a form of spiritual practice that we rely on, and especially in the last couple of years. It's the I-thou relationship, building a deeper relationship with Spirit. Now, when I was a kid, growing up, there was a version of God that I was told about, the only one available. It was an older, white, older gentleman in the sky who occasionally went off his meds. Right? And I was supposed to build a relationship with that guy. All right. I wasn't really interested in doing that. So how do we as modern metaphysicians build a relationship with Spirit? How do we do that? What does it look like? And what happens when we do? That's what we're going to talk about today. And Melissa is going to get us started. Melissa?
She is. So when I was growing up, we went to church every Sunday. Every single Sunday. Verb. Hey, Clay, can you turn off my verb? Thank you, love. It was great in the singing. Yeah, thank you. Perfect. See, those sound people are so freaking awesome. And you only hear people talk about them when they, some things, yeah. So all the rest, I'm just saying, they rock. So thank you. So when I was growing up, we went to church every single Sunday, and in this church, we heard about a version of God that was outside of us. Only this one version of God that was outside of us, and it was that version that Z just described. That sounds so lovely, doesn't it? Don't you want to like hang with that God? Yeah, so that's the only one I heard about. Now, when I came to 6th grade, my parents decided they should transfer me to public school because they saw what happened to my brother and sister. So, and so they transferred me to that church for school. And then I went to church 6 days a week. And I heard about that version of God. Now, y'all know, if you remember 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, what starts to happen is you start to like think about what you've been being told is true and question whether you agree, whether it makes sense to you, right? Well, I was hearing about this version of God, which included the fact that this God completely loved me and that my best friend, Donna Abrahams, was going to go to hell because she's Jewish. So yeah, that didn't make sense to me, and my reaction to that, as a good 6th, 7th, 8th grade person, was rage. Rage. I mean, really, people, you're talking nonsense. So I turned away from spirit entirely. Now, I will never really fully know how much that rage in response to that contributed to my becoming a full-blown drug addict at the age of 13. Yeah, good times. Now the good news is that July 31st, just a little bit ago, I have 32 years sober, clean for, yeah. Thank you. Trust me, yeah, it's a good thing. I wouldn't be here otherwise. Certainly not here. Anyway, I, in that time, have had a different experience of spirit. Soon after getting clean, I found metaphysics and centers for spiritual living. I started hearing about a different version of God. I started hearing about this version of God that was everything. Everything. And in me. I hadn't heard that, and that really worked for me. God is, all that's ever been, all that will ever be. And because that's true, it must be that it makes sense that it's right here as well. Well, that's fabulous. Sign me up. And now I still was not hearing about God outside of me. And that worked for me. That worked really, really well for me at that point. So, since then, Z and I have learned there's an American philosopher, Ken Wilber, and he has talked about the 3 faces of God, or the divine, right? So, face 1, God as all that is, God as everything that's ever been. 2, second face of God, God as me, God as I. Right here, right there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And God as the third face, God as you. Now, what's fascinating and fabulous about this is that in metaphysics, we understand that when we commune, have conversation, all that, with this version of the third face of God, the you, the paradox that is just comes with metaphysics is, yes, I'm saying you, I'm talking to you, I'm asking for help from you, and that you is also right here. That just comes with metaphysics. That's a both and. And outside of me, when I include the you, what I find is that I feel like I have a 3-dimensional relationship with spirit that I didn't have for a long time. How that happened is that Z and I were already in ministerial school. So I'd come far down this path, wasn't having that God as you thing going on. God as all and God as me, that works. We took this class in ministerial school that had a guided meditation in it, and in the guided meditation, we were invited to hang out with Spirit for a bit. And it was very powerful for me. And then we were invited in that same meditation to ask Spirit, what is the name that you would have me call you? What is my perfect name for you? Never thought of that before. And I heard very loud and clear, the All. The All. And I wept. I actually sobbed. It was very powerful. Next morning, I get up, I go do my walk, and I was praying, as I am wont to do on my walks. And I, instead of saying, Spirit is all there is, and I am this, sounds familiar, right? We pray like that. I said, good morning, the All. You are all that is, and you are right here in me. Oh, it totally changed my experience of prayer. It blasted open my heart. It just did a whole thing in me that was so yummy that I never went back. I've prayed that way ever since. And after a while of praying that way, one morning, I'd been thinking this, and I decided to broach the subject with Spirit. And I said, so the All, I have a question because, I've been praying and using the name you gave me, the All, for a while, but it seems sort of long sometimes to every time I refer to you, say the All. Would it be blasphemous or bad in any way if I just take the first letter of each of those and say the T and the A of the All and call you Ta? And I heard this laughter, and then, I do not care what you call me. So now I call Spirit Ta in my own personal world. Now, what I love about this is that when we have deeper intimacy with someone, we end up usually having a nickname for them, right? It just comes over time. In my house, in our house, whether that's the one on the road or the one at home, I know that if I hear Z say Melissa, I am in trouble. Right? Because I'm baby, and Z is baby. Same thing. But if Z hears me call out Z, they know something's gone wrong. So, how do we develop this intimacy? How do we do this? Just like we do with people. We spend time. We spend time. And we talk, and we listen. And we talk, and we listen. We chat with Spirit. Now, what happens when we develop intimacy is we recognize the voice of the person. You know how someone calls you? You know immediately by their voice who it is? Well, now your phone probably tells you, but immediately you know that voice. So that intimacy with Spirit brings that recognition. When is it my egoic structure self? When is it Spirit guiding me? You know, because you know that voice. Yes? So we have 3 ways that we want to share with you that you can hack or speed up your developing this intimacy with Spirit. First of all, you need to set your intention that that's what you want to do, right? You need to say, okay, I want a deeper relationship with Spirit. Second, we recognize the genius of that person that did the guided meditation to ask Spirit, what is the name you would have me call you? Because we are unique. There are some funny names we've heard people come up with, and they're all fabulous. And that's the second, to ask Spirit, what is the name you would have me call you? And over time, if a nickname comes from that, allow that to be. Spirit does not care what you call it. And thirdly, this prayer that Z and I pray regularly that we didn't pray for a long time. That is, that we ask Spirit, Spirit, deepen my walk with you. Deepen my walk with you. As metaphysicians, we pray for things. We pray for parking places and people and health and money and other people and everything. We just pray, pray, pray. Well, I was doing that, but I wasn't praying for this, a deeper walk with you. What is magical and amazing about that is everything else is covered in that. When I have a deeper walk with Spirit, I hear guidance. I know what is mine to do and not do, and say and not say, eat and not eat. Like every moment, every action, I have that guidance that comes from that intimacy, that comes from that answered prayer of a deeper walk with Spirit. To talk more about that deeper walk and a story about it, I give you my wife, Reverend Baby.
Thank you, Melissa. Okay, I guess I'm not in trouble then. Yeah. All right. I love the I-thou relationship. It's just enriched my life tremendously. When Melissa, one of the things I especially love is getting downloads from Spirit, right? Messages, especially when I meditate. When Melissa and I were about to graduate from ministerial school, I got one particular download from Spirit, which basically changed my life forever, that I want to share with you. And in order for the download to make sense, first I have to tell you a story about a cat. All right, you cat lovers will like this one. So this was about 20 years ago. I was coming off a bad breakup. It was really hard for me emotionally, spiritually, every way, and I decided that what was going to help me get through this breakup was to get a pet, to get a cat. Now, every other cat that had ever showed up in my life, as cats are wont to do, would come to me. You know how cats do that? So, like, showed up at my back step, or a friend said, hey, I have a cat who needs a home, like, whatever it was. So I was inviting Spirit to bring my cat to me that was going to help me through my hard time, and Spirit wasn't doing it. And I was waiting, so not happening. Finally, I took matters in my own hands, and I went to a local pet shelter where they had a whole room with a whole bunch of cats all together in one room, which I don't really know why the cats put up with that, probably because they had to. And I went and I searched, and I found this beautiful, perfect little tortoiseshell kitty, and I picked her up and I pet her, and she was cuddly and awesome, and I told the staff that I would like this cat, and they said, well, that cat's taken. But here's another, I know, it was so sad, and I'm already, emotionally fragile. And so then they said, well, here's another cat who looks just like it, right? So I go over, and I take this other cat, and I pick her up, and I pet her for about 30 seconds, and then she bit me. So I put her down, and I said, I'll take her. Because I wanted my cat, and I wanted my cat now. Now, I would say, and then I just took her home, but oh no, not so fast. This particular place had rules. So many rules, so many hoops I had to jump through. First of all, I had to give them 2 names of references, and they had to call them and reach them and actually speak to them to make sure I was an appropriate cat owner. Jay Leno used to say, dogs have owners, cats have staff. So they had to make sure I was appropriate cat staff. That worked. We got those done. Then I had to sign a piece of paper, basically sign my name in blood, that said, I will never return this cat to the shelter. I will not give this cat away to anybody else either, ever, because, they're not properly vetted, right? I wanted my cat, and I wanted my cat now, so I signed the papers. I brought the cat home. I named her Lucy. 2 days later, a friend of mine calls me and said, hey, I found the perfect cat for you. And I'm like, oh my God. I had to check. I couldn't resist. I went to this little pet shop. Here's this orange male tabby, adorable. I pick him up. He doesn't bite me. He's super easy to adopt. There's no hoops to jump through. So, I wasn't planning on getting 2 cats, but let's just do it. Bring him home. I name him Max. Okay, there's only one problem. Lucy and Max hate each other. Like, hate each other. And I'm in a very small space, and I just couldn't handle it. And the vet I was taking him to said that Lucy, who is a tortoiseshell, they sometimes make better only children, right? But I can't give Lucy back. I mean, no, So it broke my heart, but I had to give Max away. I gave him to a friend of mine. So now it's just me and Lucy. And, it was okay, but wouldn't you know, she had a tendency to bite. Like, suddenly, out of the blue, most cats have like a tell, no tell. Like, you never knew. And it was kind of scary. But I love cats. We made it work. Fast forward. 13 years later, Melissa has joined the family. We're about to graduate from ministerial school. Lucy's still with us. I'm meditating one day, and I get this download from Spirit. And Spirit says to me, all right, y'all are about to start this ministry, this thing you're doing. You can approach it one of two ways. You can approach it like you did with Lucy, going out and making it happen on your timeline. And if you do, it's going to be okay, but it's also going to bite from time to time, right? Or you can approach your ministry like you did every other cat you ever got, letting it happen on Spirit's timing, and then it's going to go way better. Now, I had never put that together before I got this download, that Lucy was the one cat that I hadn't allowed to come to me, right? And it was also the hardest cat-staff relationship I'd ever had, right? So that alone kind of blew me away. And then, a few months after I got the download, Lucy died. Suddenly and unexpectedly, which is very much like her, right? Like, you never know. We're upstairs, we hear noises, we come downstairs, we were getting ready to take her to the vet, she's having a seizure, and then she's gone, just like that. Turned out she had a heart condition, there's nothing we could have done. So here we are, we're about to start our ministry, and we've been given very specific instructions about how to proceed, right? Now, we knew we're creatives. We knew when Spirit said, don't push it, don't force it. We're still going to be making music. We're going to be creating things, right? Spirit meant don't push it as far as the out in the world, making it happen, right? Did we listen? Well, we got a little freaked out about money. How's this all going to work? So we made some phone calls, and by we, I mean Melissa. Melissa got on the phone. Hi, this is Melissa Phillippe. Do you remember me? Right. Hi, yeah. Good to talk to you again. Yeah. I'm a minister now. Just wanted to let you know. Thank you, yeah. Yeah, and I have a wife now. I know, it surprised me too. Yeah, I didn't have one of those last time. Yeah, I have a wife. My wife's name is Z. Yup, just the letter Z. I know, it's a little different, yes. Well, they are a minister as well. Oh, they. No, singular they, just one Z. Z identifies as gender rich. Whole lot of gender going on. Yeah. So they use they as a pronoun. I know, it's also a little different. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you what we're doing these days. We're going around, we have an online and traveling ministry. We're going around doing talk and music, and musically, I'm still singing, of course, still Melissa Phillippe, but Z has joined me now, and Z does spoken word. Hello? Hello? Okay. So it didn't go very well. When we tried to push, it didn't actually work very well. So about a year into our ministry, we thought, hey, we're ministers. Maybe we should surrender to Spirit. Like, not 95%, but like 100%, because there's kind of a big difference between 95 and 100, right? So we did. We said, okay, Spirit, all right, it's yours, 100% yours. And wouldn't you know, little by little, not all right away, we started to just organically get calls from people who knew about us, who'd heard about us, who knew what we did, right? And we also got asked to do things we were pretty sure we weren't going to do. We thought, oh, we don't do retreats, we don't do workshops. We got invited. We're like, we're following Spirit. We'll try. Oh, we really like this. And then we just are letting this all organically unfold, right? We've got things, we're creating things at home, putting things out online. People are hearing about us, we're going out in the world, we're creating more and more product. People are coming up to our table afterwards and going, wow, your whole plan, your whole business plan, the way you're doing this, it's really genius. And we'd say, I know, right? Like, none of it is our idea. Like, Spirit is so much smarter than we are. And then, because we were 100% surrender now, not just 95, they have that metaphor for faith, that it's like you're driving and there's fog, and you can only see a little bit in front of you, right? But you just go forward, you keep following that little bit, right? Well, our experience was that the fog was so thick, we couldn't see anything in front of us. We really didn't know what we were doing. And so we had to take our hands off the wheel and let Spirit drive. What a concept. It was amazing. So at the same time, all this surrendering's going on, Melissa's out shopping one day and she runs into a friend, and the friend says, hey, do you want a cat? And we really did, but we weren't gonna make the same mistake again, right? So Melissa said, well, sure, yeah, send me a picture. I'm visiting my folks in Ohio. Melissa sends me this picture, and I said, I think that's our cat. And she said, I know, right? So I go to bed that night, and I wake up the next morning, I hear a voice, I get a download from Spirit that says, that cat's name is Max. Now, we've established now that I like to talk back to Spirit. I like to argue, right? So I said, no, that can't be true. No, I already had a Max, and I gave him away. That cat's name is not Max. A few hours later, Melissa calls me, and she goes, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I keep getting that cat's name is Max. So, Max came home to live with us, and needless to say, he's the best cat I've ever had. He's incredible. He's our little love bunny. And as I was putting together this talk, I realized why his name is Max. I didn't get it until then, which is, the first Max was the surrendered version, right? I pushed with Lucy, and because I'd pushed and got her first, I couldn't keep Max, who came to me much more organically, right? But it's never too late to surrender to Spirit. And so I got another Max, because it's never too late. Now, we have a picture of our guy here. There he is. There's our boy. We call him our little rubber nose prince, because we think his nose looks like it's made out of rubber. And he's our ministry's mascot, because anytime we start to doubt or question or think we know better, right, than Spirit, we just look in those eyes, and we remember the truth. We remember that surrendering isn't giving up. Surrendering is empowering, because when we're surrendering, we are aligning ourselves with a power for good that is so much greater than we are, that is so much smarter than we are. And when we do align, when we surrender to Spirit and align, our lives just keep getting better and better and better than we could ever imagine, and it doesn't bite. So please repeat after me. Spirit is so much smarter than I am.
Spirit is so much smarter than I am.
And it is never too late to surrender to Spirit.
And it is never too late to surrender to Spirit.
Let us pray. Sweet Spirit, you are all that is. Divine light, light-filled joy, joyous peace, peaceful power, powerful love. You are all things, all spaces, everywhere, including me, right here, right now, including every one of us here gathered today, physically, gathered virtually, all the beings seen and unseen who are here now. And so I speak a word right now. I claim and affirm for each and every one of us here that right here, right now, we deepen our walk with you. We commit. We make that commitment to deepen that walk. We open to finding out what is our name for the divine. And we ask Spirit, we ask you to deepen our walk with you. And as we do, you show up in us, in our intuition, in our thoughts. You show up in other people. You show up everywhere. And as we deepen this connection with you, not only are our lives blessed, but the lives of all those that we touch are blessed. I am grateful for you. I am grateful for this opportunity to connect with infinite love. I am grateful. And I release this prayer now, knowing it is done. And if you are in alignment with this prayer, please repeat after me, Amen. Amen. Ashe. Ashe. And so it is.
So it is. Thank God.
So I'm going to ask you to stand and we'll sing. And this is another one where there's arm movement, so we get to dance in our own way.
Let the
you so much. Please be seated. I'm so glad you got to hear them, but that entire talk was for me. Yeah. Although from the looks of all of the tears out in the room, I think maybe there were a few other people who got it. Oh man, that 95% surrendered. Ah! So this is the part of our service in which we tell the universe that this has served us and that we want more of it, that this is a good thing in the world, these feelings, these emotions, this awareness of the divine within and all around us. And so if your gift is a physical thing, I ask you to hold it over your heart. Now, we no longer pass the basket because 2020. There is, however, a sparkly gold box as you walk out of here on the left, and that is where your donations and offerings go. You can also give online through our webpage, or you can text to tithe. But this is the part where we make it sacred. So if your gift is not something physical, I ask you to hold your hand over your heart and know that you yourself, your consciousness, just as you are, is the gift. And that's what makes it worthy. And so we dedicate it together by saying, divine love, in and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And thank you, Z and Melissa, for already being here and singing one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, this actually, we weren't planning on doing this song today. It wasn't originally in the schedule. And then I told Kathleen we were doing it, not even knowing why I told her that. And then she said, oh, good, because that's my favorite song. And so we switched everything up. So now we're doing it. One of our favorite examples of 100% surrender is the story of Harriet Tubman. So we wrote a song about it.
No matter where your journey's starting from, there is a voice calling you.
True story. When Harriet Tubman first escaped from slavery, she heard a voice that said, I want you to help free others. Do you know what Harriet Tubman said to that voice? She said no. She said, not me. She said,
It just goes back on. Is the battery maybe going? Sorry, y'all. Harriet coming in next to the mic.
Well, shall we just have a little chat here for a minute?
I could. How many science of mind people does it take to screw in a light bulb? Just the one. I made that up. Yeah. Okay, so I have another one. All right, so this whale walks into a bar, and he sits next to his buddy, and he says, ooh, 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 ooh. 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 He's not back in the room. I'm keep going. And his buddy looks at the whale and he goes, dude, you are so messed up right now. Actually, the real joke has a different word than messed up, but I'm not going to say that here. Okay, so that's my joke. How are we doing? Do we have the mic yet? Maybe? No, we still do not. All right. Let's see. Do you know one, Melissa? Melissa has a joke? No? Yours are all back from when you were using? And they're a little not as good? I think, do we have a mic. I do not bust out that whale joke very often. It's not needed. I could have kept going for, 10, 15 minutes if we needed to, but all right. Okay, so.
My favorite. That's my favorite joke.
Okay. Are we ready? What do we think? We got
Yes,
it? We
we're
got
gonna go
reverb?
again.
Okay.
Only I'm not going to do the intro.
You're not? Why not?
Oh, okay. I'll do it again.
Okay. Let's try this again. Take 2. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
No matter where your journey's starting from, there is a voice calling you.
True story. When Harriet Tubman first escaped from slavery, she heard a voice that said, I want you to help free others. Do you know what Harriet Tubman said to that voice? She said, no. She said, not me. She said, I can't. I can't. But the voice wouldn't let up. It wouldn't let her be. I want you to help free others. I want you to help free others. Finally, Harriet Tubman, the woman who would be known as Moses, said yes. Yes. Walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night. Step by step, she followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listening every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light.
True story. Harriet Tubman, with the help of the Union Army, once freed 750 enslaved people in one day. Can you imagine 750 people? Moses brought them home. The voice of Spirit doesn't mess around. When you listen to that voice, you are never the same. When you listen to that voice, you are free. And it doesn't stop there. You take others with you. The 750 are still alive today. They're your sisters and your brothers in struggle and in pain. They're your doubts and your fears when you say, I can't, but you can, and you will. When you walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listening every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light. No matter where your journey's starting from.
by sight. Moses walked through the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
Let that northern star be your guide.
It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Clay, getting your aerobics on for us and running around. Yeah, fixing and saving the day.
Yes, making me tell my whale joke.
So if any one of you wonder what inspired me to go home to the East Coast, it's stuff like that. So I know there's stuff I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, like here, not just in life. So if we have anybody here for the first time, we would love to welcome you. If you are willing to stand up, tell us your name and where you're from. We have somebody who is actually taking advantage of the practitioner's room. Hello. Can we just get your name and where you're from? Patricia? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Whether you choose to stand up or not, if you're here for the first time, we would love for you to take one of our books from our used bookstore as our thank you gift for being here. Melissa and Z, Reverends, is there something you would like to share with everybody?
Yes. So we have what we call the Oh My God Life mini mall, right? A little table right around the corner, which we use to help support our ministry. So all kinds of things out there. We got fridge magnets and T-shirts on sale. Everything must go $5.
2 books.
2 books, online classes, all kinds of stuff. And as Kathleen mentioned before, we have our mailing list.
Yes. So if nothing else, we would love to have you on our mailing list if you like us. If you don't like us, don't
Then
sign
yeah,
up.
maybe not. Yeah.
But if you enjoyed us today, we do 2 free videos every month that come to your inbox. And our favorite thing is that every year we create a new birthday song and song video of the song, and it's in your inbox on the morning of your birthday.
Yeah, we send it out at midnight so that, the insomniacs see it
So that's
right
one
away.
of our favorite things that we do, yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have music, obviously. We
Yes.
have
Oh,
music.
right. I forgot to mention that. And thank you again for having
Thank
us.
you.
We really felt such a warm welcome from Prescott. So thank you. Thank you again, Kathleen, for having us.
You only say that because I let you have the last of the non. So at this point, we're going to let the kids come in. Yay! And Melissa, you're going to need to share your mic.
You want to play something?
Usually they get like Def Leppard or something, or Back in Black.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
That's adorable,
That was
though.
beautiful.
It was cute.
Thank you. Yeah, and so I'm just gonna hand the mic to Seamus because he's got it.
Today, I made up a word.
Cool.
Intranscluded.
What does it mean?
It's basically transcend and include.
Oh.
Wow.
Today's theme. I came up with it because
Because he's Seamus.
So we were talking about today's theme, which was transcend and include. And Seamus posed a really brilliant question, which was why transcend and include and not include and transcend? And so what we took from that is actually it is kind of this circular process where one is not more important than the other, and it's not something that you can keep separate, but that you have to combine together. In order to transcend, we must include, and when we include, we transcend. And so we came up with
intranscludend.
Like it.
Oh, also, I made a tiny quote saying, the cool thing about life is that you never stop learning.
Yay.
We watched a TED Talk presented by a very youthful person who is amazing and had so many good points, but we were talking about reciprocal learning, and that Seamus came up, he said, well, we should have a poster or a magnet, and so he wrote it down. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. So at this point in our service, I'm going to ask everybody to stand up. If you are not comfortable holding hands, please cross your hands over your heart. You get to do what you need to take care of yourself and feel safe. We're going to do our benediction and then sing our way out with the peace song. That is too cute. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life.